Hey everyone, let's talk about a band trip a little bit. I'm just going to go through some forms and I don't know, various other talking points that I would normally do in class. But this year we're doing it as a video just to save the time and also so that hopefully families can also watch this and check things out. So first, let's talk about these forms. The yellow trip permit is one of the forms that gets turned in. Important medical information, obviously, if there's an emergency of some sort where we need to use medical facilities, this is a hugely important one. So please make sure it's complete and accurate. I also wanted to point out the middle section of it with the eligibility information, where it's point number 2 on there. It says all school rules apply and any infraction of rules will result in disciplinary measures. Bullying and drug and alcohol use and things like that are not allowed. I told the band in class that it's like being in the classroom the whole time. Imagine the entire trip is in the classroom. So even if you're 18 and there are things that are legal, for example, smoking is legal if you're 18, it's not legal in the band room. It's not part of how we do school. So it's not acceptable on this trip. So it's not about what's legal as an 18-year-old, it's about school policy. It is a traveling classroom. And then bullet number 6 there talks about misconduct of students during any part of the trip will result in notification of parents, and the mode of return transportation for the offender will be at the parent's discretion. This is if you get caught smoking, drinking, drugs, or any other thing that is deemed far outside the acceptable school policies, you will be sent home. I would beg of you not to put me in that situation, and of course don't put yourself or your family or your bandmates in that situation. This and all of the forms need to be signed by parents, guardians, and the student. So this is regardless of whether you're 18. Everything needs to be signed by parents and guardians. Our tour company is called Performance Tours. The green form is just their agreement with us as we travel with them. So that's a pretty straightforward one. The blue form I'm not holding in front of me right now because that I didn't have a copy of that, but that is just a hold harmless clause from the school that if something goes wrong, you're not going to sue the school. So that one also needs to be filled out and returned. And those are the 3 forms that need to get in hopefully by this Friday, which is March 21st. Let's talk through the itinerary real quick, and so you know the general scheme of things. Before the itinerary even starts, you'll come to school on Wednesday for a school day, but you will bring your suitcase and whatever you're bringing on tour, your pillow and your blankie for the bus, whatever it is, all that stuff comes with you to school on Wednesday because we're leaving right after 4th hour. We will have a practice room that will be locked all day that'll contain our stuff. So all of the suitcases and things you don't need for your school day will go to the practice room. We'll have it locked up and we'll make sure it's secure all day. Then when you get to when you finish 4th hour, you'll come down to the band room, grab that stuff out of there. We will gather very quickly, probably in the commons down by the theater, and then talk a little bit, be introduced to the chaperones, and then load up the bus and get ready to go. So now we're looking at the actual itinerary document. Like it says, 2 o'clock to 2:30, we're loading the bus and trying to get out of here before the end of the school day. The first stop that we make is at Iowa State University. We'll have a clinic with their band director, Dr. Michael Galimo, and that'll just be a chance for us to play and get some feedback and become better musicians for it. After that, a short little jaunt over to Hickory Park, which is a restaurant right in town there, right by Iowa State. There was some confusion. That is an out-of-pocket expense. You have not paid for that meal yet, so you will have to cover your own meal there at Hickory Park. After dinner, then, we get on the bus, drive all night long, and head towards Colorado, and try to sleep on the bus if we can. Then we wake up in the morning. We are on day 2, Thursday the 27th. We'll do a breakfast stop, something like that. I tried to note that it is a student expense on here wherever you have to pay for your own meal. So some sort of fast food breakfast along the way. And then we make a stop at Eagle Crest High School and do an exchange concert. We perform for them, they perform for us, and we hopefully have a chance to mingle for a few minutes. Then we grab some fast food lunch and head over to the Museum of Nature and Science. That is a fantastic museum. I think students will really enjoy being there for a couple of hours. Then we hop back on the bus and go over to Bojo's Pizza Pies, which is a really good pizza restaurant in the Denver area. Then after dinner, we have a chance to do a quick hike at Castle Rock. Then we're off to our hotel and sleep through the night. Then the next day, day 3, we're on Friday. We'll do continental breakfast at the hotel, then a tour of the Olympic Training Center, another high school exchange concert, this time at Grandview High School, and eat lunch on the bus. We've talked about box lunches. Eat lunch on the bus on the way to that exchange concert, and then play for them. They play for us. And then we're off to Garden of the Gods, hike through Garden of the Gods and see some spectacular outdoorsy things. Then we're to Old Colorado City, where we just get to do a little bit of souvenir shopping, get some dinner, hang around before we head back to the hotel at the end of Friday. Then we get up earlier on Saturday so we can make the drive down to Cannon City, Colorado. We'll go to Royal Gorge, world's highest suspension bridge over, I believe it's the Arkansas River. So some cool stuff to do there. Then we'll grab some more fast food lunch, as it says there, and then we're off to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, which was highly recommended by Dr. Jannings, who likes zoos. I love zoos as well, so it's a fun place to go on a band trip. So we'll hang out in the zoo for a little while, and then we're off to a shopping mall for a dinner, again, student expense there. And then we go to the theater in town to see the Broadway musical Life of Pi, which is supposed to be spectacular. I'm very excited to see that professional musical. And then immediately after the musical, we hop back on the buses, drive all night long, and return back to Roseville, Minnesota, sometime around 4:00 p.m. We've definitely had times when we arrived 2 hours earlier than planned, and we've had times when we arrive later than planned. Part of that depends on weather. So 4 o'clock is an estimate. It could be as early as 1 o'clock, but it also, could be later than 4 o'clock as well. Now, let's talk through this pink form, which again is posted on Schoology. It's also in your email. This is like helpful information for packing and how to behave and how to take care of each other and all that kind of stuff. So I'll try to rip through it kind of fast. I'm not going to read to you, but I'm going to highlight everything on here. Communication is important. This first thing, it says you've got to be getting the Symphonic Band group texts. So I use them all the time, including probably the day that you are watching this video. If you're not getting those, let's figure out how to get those. So there's instructions in here. If those instructions don't work, let's do a different way. There are other ways. And then keep your phone charged, because we don't need phones expiring and then we can't reach you. Band director and chaperone phone numbers are on this document. I encourage you to take a picture of those so that you can contact us. It's fine to contact me, but also it can be really handy to be able to contact the chaperones as well. So check those out. All right, what should I bring with? For luggage, you're allowed to take one suitcase, or it could be a backpack or a duffel bag or something like that you're keeping under the bus. So that one you won't have access to until we get to the hotel. So think about that. There are people that mess that up every year. You don't have access to it until you get to the hotel. So there's some stuff you're going to want for overnight, because we're spending the overnight on the bus. Then we have another entire day after the overnight on the bus before you get to your suitcase. So you have to plan some things in your carry-on so that you can get through the night and things like that. Make sure, item number 2 there, make sure you're tagging all your items with name and address and things like that. And then just kind of a loose suggestion, number 3 there under personal items, a loose suggestion of what to wear and what to bring. For everyday, layers are good, especially in Colorado. Colorado, you could wake up, it's like Minnesota, but even, Minnesota squared. You could wake up at 18 degrees and be 70 degrees later in the day. Last time we went to Colorado, we had a blizzard of 18 inches of snow one day, and then it was 72 degrees the next day. So be prepared for things. Also, on the bus, layers are good, because sometimes the bus can be hot, sometimes it can be cold. Can depend on whether you're at the front of the bus or the back of the bus. So really, layers on the bus and layers when we're out walking around as well. The main thing I'll highlight in there is that for our exchange performances, you need your blue Symphonic Band t-shirt. That light blue t-shirt is our uniform for performances. So make sure you've got that in your carry-on, because our first performance is on Thursday, where I don't yet have access to my suitcase. So light blue shirt in your carry-on so that I can perform in that. Then you might want to figure out ways to switch in and out of that. The bus has a little bathroom on it that you could use to change shirts, or again, you could just do it using layers. But we're going to use it again on Friday because we have that other exchange performance on Friday. So I want that blue shirt usable twice. So I'll let you strategize how to do that. Again, there's a little lockable bus bathroom where you could do a quick shirt change, or you could figure out another way. But have that blue shirt handy in your carry-on on the bus. And then you can read all of this other stuff. Jackets and stuff are probably good because weather could be pretty varied in temperature, especially we're way up in the mountains for some of that stuff. Looking down that list, still letter D, good shoes. Please, we're going to do a bunch of walking, so please have good shoes. Bus activities that are quiet. Some of you are like, yeah, it's fine, let's party on the bus, but there's a lot of people that are going to need quiet. There's a lot of people in this bus, so plan on things that don't make noise. The bus has a DVD player. If you want to bring some DVDs that are not rated R, we can talk about playing some movies that play throughout the entire bus. You don't have your own movie player. It's for the entire bus to watch. And then snacks are fine on the bus, but they do not involve peanuts at all. We have multiple peanut allergies coming with us on this trip, and it's close quarters, so don't even mess with, I'll just stay away from those people. Don't be that person. Just have peanut-free snacks, please. And then, of course, take care of your personal items and remember those things, particularly as is highlighted on here, deodorant. We're sitting in close quarters for a long time, so please take care of your own hygiene for the sake of all of us. And then bring some sleepwear. You're sharing a bed in that hotel room. You're sharing a bed, so bring something to sleep in, please. Bring your ID. For cars, we would like you to leave your car at home if at all possible. Try to get dropped off that day so that we don't have a bunch of cars sitting here overnight for the entire trip. There's 4 nights that we are gone, including the weekend. You don't want your car sitting around here. So try to get dropped off. If you really have to leave a car here, please get in touch with me so I can talk to security and they know what the deal is with a car that's being left here overnight every night. Instruments, of course, take care, make sure you bring in all your stuff, and extra reeds, bring your mouthpieces. We had a kid forget his mouthpiece on tour one year. Don't do that. There's a list on the bottom of this first page of money needs, the meals that you're gonna need to pay for. Next page. This next page is really about doing the right thing, being respectful, making good decisions that are based on the good of the group, not on what you want to do. So discipline. Again, I don't need to read to you, but you're accepting suggestions of the band director and the chaperones, and just being positive and taking care of each other. Know that this trip took a lot of planning, and maybe not everything is going exactly how you want it to go, but we need you to do the right thing. Underlined here, it says take responsibility for the entire group, not just yourself. So this is, I'm not just thinking that would be fun for me to do that. I'm thinking, well, if we're all going to be on time, I need to do that. If we're all going to be safe, I need to do that. So think about everybody. Under responsibility, be on time. Again, you need to be where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. If you are late, then you're making us all late. If something got cut short and you're bummed about it, just trust that other people had a thing got cut short, but they got there on time. So do the right thing. There was a year where I had a group of students decide they didn't have enough time for lunch. So they just stayed at their lunch spot and said, this is our lunchtime. We need to stay here. And they made the bus wait a full 20 minutes because we didn't know where they were. And they were just finishing their lunch. And so we all sat on the bus waiting for them. It was really disrespectful of the group and of me and everyone involved. So sometimes things aren't going to go just right. Sometimes you're going to wish you had more time. Keep the good of the group in mind and make the right decision. Listen to instructions. I already mentioned that. Listen to the chaperones, listen to the band director, and we will also have a tour guide with us, and listen to the bus driver as well. Just be respectful and do as you're told so that everything can be cool. Rules and regulations, there's just going through this one bullet at a time real quick. Hotel rooms are decided, so we're not switching rooms. This says use the same bus for the entire trip. We're all on the same bus, so that point is moot on this particular one. The director, chaperones, any adults involved have the right to inspect baggage or rooms at any time, so keep that in mind. Number 3, we've already talked about, listen to the chaperones. Number 4, no one leaves the hotel or leaves the group to go out alone for any reason. We stay in groups of 4 at all times. in groups of 4 at all times. This is for your protection and your safety. During sightseeing, shopping events, always, again, go in groups of 4 and never alone. When we're at the hotel, before we do room checks, we want, if there's other people in your room, the doors will be open. So prop your door open. Band director and chaperones could come in at any time and just to check on you and make sure things are cool, or if things are loud, they'll have you quiet down or whatever. But doors are propped open so that we can come check on you. Number 9 is something I've already said. The tour is an extension of your music classes, so all school policies apply at all times. Number 10, you're not to be the driver of any vehicle or the passenger of any vehicle other than our bus on the trip. So even if there's a little free time in a town or something, you are not taking a local bus or an Uber or anything like that. The only vehicle you get on is our bus. Number 11, I have your medical information because of that yellow form, but it's also good for you to have medical information on your person at any time in the case of an emergency. The big bold statement at the bottom of that page, again, is just misconduct of students during any part of the trip will result in notification of parents or guardians, and student will be sent home at the expense of their family. So be cool, people. Next page, on the bus, be on time. Again, don't be selfish with time. We are all in a big hurry, and we all don't have quite as much time as we want, but we've got things to do. So be on time. Don't keep us all waiting. Number 3, pay attention to, like, every time we get off the bus, I'll say back on bus at X time. So pay attention to how much time you have and how long it takes you to walk to a place so that you can get back on time. Number 4, you might think everybody's cool with a loud bus, but I guarantee you we are not all cool with a loud bus. So please keep things quiet. We're not doing Bluetooth speakers and things like that. Just be chill on the bus. Number 5 I just talked about. Music is just in your earbuds. Number 6, keep it clean. Be respectful of the place that we're in. Number 7, make sure when we're loading things, you're getting all of your suitcases and instruments and things like that. Number 8, we'll do a roll call. So we do that every time. You'll see how that goes. But overnight, we'll probably do a stop in the middle of the night, either for fuel change or whatever. Where it might be 2 a.m. and most of the bus is still asleep. We don't make everybody wake up and yell out roll call. So if it's a middle of the night stop and you get off, make sure your phone is with you, and make sure you tell your seat partner or whatever, like, hey, I'm getting off. Make sure the bus doesn't leave without me. So we're double, triple checking, having phones, all that stuff. If heaven forbid we leave in the middle of the night and you're still in the rest stop, you've got your phone so you can call band teacher because you saved his phone number. The bus Wi-Fi is not strong enough for streaming, so don't count on the Wi-Fi to stream Netflix or something like that. It'll really just help you check your email and send some texts. So don't plan on streaming on the Wi-Fi. Download some stuff in advance. Sometimes there's always charging outlets on the bus, but they're not always plentiful, and they're not always right next. Like, hopefully there's one at each seat, but there's been buses that I've been on where it's like there's one at the front and one in the middle and one in the back. So plan accordingly. It'd be good to have a backup battery handy, I guess is what I'm saying. In the hotel, this is all just being respectful and being smart about being in a hotel. So read that and do that. Be classy and be cool. You are representing our entire band program and our entire school, myself, Mr. McKnight, the rest of the band when you're there. So don't break stuff, don't be loud, don't be out of control. Final page has just some assignments so you know which thing you're in charge of when we're loading and unloading. So the suitcase loading crew, you're going to help make sure all the suitcases are in whatever compartment that is. So that's the flute and trombone sections, captained by Natalie Heiber and MJ. Then instrument loading, that'll be in a different compartment on the bus. That'll be the trumpet and saxophone sections, captained by Stephen Poppy and Alden Homzik. Music folder crew, so we're getting those music boxes that we took to SEC. That'll be Solveig, and we like to have juniors be like an apprentice for that, so there's always someone in training to do that the next year and teach the next person how to do it. So Solveig did it last year. Now Natalie Drake will be the lone junior apprentice this year. And then brass and percussion will be managed by Owen King, and we're fresh out of juniors, so Owen, you don't get an apprentice. Percussion crew, you're making sure that we'll probably have to bring a couple things to play the Marquez, but also some of your mallet bags and things like that. So all percussionists are in charge of percussion items. Final thing on here is the chaperone phone numbers and the band director phone numbers. Here's proof that you're watching this video. Text Matt Donnell right now with your name. So you're texting 952-250-3310. That's my personal phone number. You're going to text your name to that number. Yes, I'm trusting you with my cell number now, but that also gives me your cell number so that we can reach each other in an emergency if need be. And then again, I would take a picture of those chaperone numbers as well, so you've got those. A few other points really quickly. Just another reminder, no peanuts on the bus. This is a peanut-free bus and peanut-free trip because we have multiple peanut allergies in the band. So please don't mess with that. We want to be respectful, but more importantly, we would like to stay alive. The bus, as I mentioned, it can vary in temperature very widely. It can get really hot, especially in the back. It can get really cold, often in the front. And you're also trying to sleep in there. So if you want to bring a pillow and a blanket or something like that, you may do so, but also think about layers. But figure out what's going to make, neck pillow, something like that, so that I can take at least a nap overnight on the bus. Reminder about the groups of 4 thing. You need to be in at least a group of 4 for your own safety. If you consistently are not doing the group of 4 thing, then one of the chaperones will attach themselves to you, and your group of 2 will become a group of 3. It'll be you and one of the chaperones, or you and your band teacher. Don't make us make that call. It's as awkward for us as it would be for you. Be inclusive. I say like, oh, there's a couple people that tend to struggle to find a group or whatever. Hey guys, come with us. Like, just come hang out with us. You're not required to have extensive conversations, but bring people into your group of 4. I already told you to text my number. Do it now, 952-250-3310. Text me your name right now as you're watching this. It'll be good proof that you watched this video. The weather, it's Colorado weather, man. It could be real cold. It could be warm, but it also could be very cold. So layers and jackets definitely make sense. Reminder that your concert attire is your blue Symphonic band shirt, so have that in your carry-on so that we can, so that we're ready for those high school exchange performances on Thursday and on Friday. You're going to throw your blue SB shirt on and be ready for those performances. Percussionists should let me know what you need to play the Marquez. The other tunes, not so worried about because they're pretty limited, but the Marquez has some extra stuff, so percussionists have to put that list together. Another reminder that return time could vary. On the itinerary, it says 4. It could be way earlier than that. It could be later than that. So just plan for a pretty wide window there for arrival time and getting picked up at the high school. When we're boarding the bus, you've got a bus seating chart. Remember to check that out and figure out where you're going so there's not any awkwardness there. But again, once we've left the parking lot, if you need to move somewhere, trade seats with someone, I don't care. I'm not taking attendance based on that seating chart. Please bring adequate snacks. Note that our first dinner is late, and sometimes we go with large spans between meals. If you're the kind of person that's going to get lightheaded or feel funky if you don't get enough to eat, bring some snacks, bring some protein bars, whatever, so that if we go a while between meals, you are covered. The biggest thing I could say, and hopefully, I hope you watched all the way to the end of this video. The biggest thing I can say is I need you to be safe. All of this stuff is my number one goal. My number one job is to bring you back home to your family. The nightmare scenario is that I have to make an awful phone call to your home that says something has happened. So please, 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 for the sake of me and your family and friends, make the right decisions so that you are safe all the time. Be safe all the time. I don't want to have to make that call that says something has happened to you. So be good, be respectful. Don't take risks on this trip. That's for your own trips. This one, we need to bring you home safely because we care about you and so does your family. And so I finish up with my former colleague would always head out with the band and remind the band what is the good sign for a band trip. And that would be a band trip where no lives were lost and no new lives were created. All right, people, let's have a good trip. Bye.